Welcome back. You're so tuned into NetBank Business Watch. Thank you for staying with us. It's 12 minutes before 3 p.m. Before we say goodbye, let's take a look at today's financial market analysis with Nozi Busiso Dembe from NetBank Eswatini. Nozi, welcome back. Very good afternoon. How are you this afternoon?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. So, yeah, what's happening on the markets today? I saw that the rand is weakening. What are the reasons for that?
Yeah, it's been an interesting couple of days for the rand. After almost 3 weeks of the US dollar strengthening and the rand weakening, on Friday we finally saw firming of the rand. Analysts were saying the 3-week rally was due to just initial reactions from the market about President Donald Trump winning the US elections. But this week we continue to then see the rand short-lived strength, if you ask me. Okay. After the S&P Global Ratings upgraded the country's outlook from stable to positive, citing one favorable trade, continued fiscal expenditure, and finally structural reform. So currently the US dollar against the SZL is trading at 18.1276. The euro against the SZL is trading at 19.1247. And the pound against the SZL is trading at 22.9322. The reason I say it was short-lived, Lulu, is because soon after that, we saw the rand then lose strength due to the increasing tensions between Russia and Ukraine. So we saw that happen throughout yesterday, and then this morning we got inflation data, South African inflation data, which came out a little lower than expected at 2.8%, okay. Which then increases the chances for an interest rate cut and also weakens the rand further.
Yeah, speaking of the escalating tensions between Russia and Ukraine, how are investors reacting to this?
Yeah, so there's mixed reactions to it, but mainly the market is quite apprehensive. Maybe for context, basically what's happening is that there were reports that Ukraine is using US-supplied long-range missiles to attack Russia. Okay. And in retaliation, President Putin then updated their nuclear doctrine to allow them to use nuclear weapons against Ukraine as well. Yeah. So there's a lot of tension around that, and the market is quite apprehensive about that.
That's right. All right. Let's talk about new data coming out this week. Is it today or tomorrow? What can we expect?
So what we're expecting this week, firstly, tomorrow we have a sub-interest rate decision coming up in the afternoon. And then on Friday, we have our local interest rate decision from the central bank also coming out. The expectation from the market is that both those decisions will be 25 basis points cut from each of the countries, but we can only know when we see the announcement.
All right, so let's get into commodities this afternoon. Brent crude oil and gold. What impacts do the escalating tensions have on the prices of gold and oil today?
So currently, the price of Brent crude is increasing, trading at $75.89 per barrel. And the reason behind that is mainly the increasing tensions between Russia and Ukraine, but also an expected increase of demand for oil from China, being one of the largest importers of oil. And then on the gold side, gold is currently trading at $2,623.77 per ounce. And we've seen the price of gold ease today after a 1-week high due to US dollar strengthening. Okay. But what has capped the losses from the dollar is the safe haven demand that's coming from the US dollar, from the Russia and Ukraine tensions.
Okay, so quite a lot is happening due to the tensions between Russia and Ukraine. So moving on to equities this afternoon. Is there any activity happening there?
So in the equity space, the S&P 500, which tracks the performance of U.S. companies, has risen a bit this morning, mainly driven by Walmart, which increased by 3%, and also Tesla, which increased by a further 2%, making its month-to-date increases currently 37%. Okay. So if you'll remember, when Donald Trump won the elections, the price of Tesla started to spike up. So it's just been on an upward rally since then. On the JSE All-Share Index side and the FTSE side, we have marginal weakening from both, mainly driven by the tensions again around the Russia and Ukraine war.
Okay, so just one last question, two last questions before I let you go. I saw that yesterday the dollar was much higher against the Japanese yen. How is it performing today?
So today I'd say it's relatively the same, but the bigger issue is more with the US dollar because there's so much going on that affects the dollar. And you know that when the US sneezes, everyone catches a cold. So so that's where most of it
That's a
is driven
problem.
from.
All
Yeah.
right, any added data that you can expect to be released this week?
We also have retail sales data. I think that's going to be released sometime this afternoon, which is expected to affect the ZAR. But other than that, it's really just the interest rate decisions coming out of the two countries, South Africa and Eswatini.
All right, thank you so much, Zibu. That was Treasury dealer Nozibusiso Tembe from Nedbank Eswatini giving us today's financial market analysis. Thank you for staying with us. Let's go for an ad break. We'll resume shortly.